There is a first time for everything. That is the old saying. And for the first time in a long time, I feel an emotion I have never felt once in my life. Not while I was training with Minoru Suzuki. Not when I joined ZCW. Not when I won the ZCW World Heavyweight Championship. Not when I held it for the longest time in the history of the company. Not even when I lost the championship at This Day We Fight to Sami Zayn. I feel confliction. An emotion that was given to me by an offer by one Mr. X to join the global wrestling monopoly. I'd be lying if I said the offer was not thoroughly thought about. It's been in the back of my head ever since he made the offer. He is a very, very convincing man. But I know the consequences of joining the M. I know how they work. And I am treating my ground very carefully, weighing my options. But the VWU is not exactly giving me all the reasons to stay. Allow me to make a few examples, if I may. Zack Stone, the man who claims he is the best in the world. He has come out recently saying about how the VWU never gave him chances and doesn't see him as the guy, as the top guy to carry the banner of the Virtual Wrestling United onto his back. Du bist voller Scheiße, Zack. You're full of shit. You have always, since the moment you stepped into the ring, have always been the favorite in DCA and in the VWU. You have always been protected as Dwall's golden boy, whereas I, Luka Khan, have always been given the shaft. Oh, you don't think that's the case? I am the longest reigning champion in any VWU league, one of the most gifted performers in wrestling in general, one of the most deadly and dangerous. And yet, where have my chances been at the VWU World Championship? Hell, I'll take any championship for that matter. Where have my opportunities been at the Hardcore Championship, at the Hell's Gambit Championship? I've always had to jump through the hoops like Rumbles or one-night tournaments, get unworthy people like Ace Royale, Gorilla Black, and John Blackos all get chances one-on-one before me and Senslik. And then you have those like Eddie Mack, who ask me, why am I not branching out? You see, it's never been the issue of me branching out. Because the UWL, even before GWM took over, is the first place that had some balls to sign me. And recently, another place has also signed me. But for reasons I'll keep that anonymous. If I went to DCA or CCL, I would embarrass all of their golden boys. It would have been me who defeated Zack for the DCA World Championship. Takeru, I would have ensured he and the Blood Trail were out before they even began. And Claudio, I would have picked him apart piece by piece with no issues at all. Takeru wouldn't have done it. Claudio wouldn't have done it. It would have been me. And I would have done it with ease. But the reason it wasn't me is because Dwall is scared of me destroying his roster. Member by member. Original by original. Newcomer by newcomer. They all would have lined up and they would have all been picked apart by me. Dwall doesn't want to admit that I am better than the best in the fucking world. It's why I know Dwall and Eddie like to make their little jokes at the booth anytime I'm in a match. They scream to the heavens, Khan! Khan! And they try to make me look like a joke, because they are scared of me wiping the floor with their inferior rosters. And once Eddie concludes making his jokes at my expense, he turns around and wants to talk about what have I done recently? What have I done lately? No, you don't get to ask those questions. Allow me to ask a question of my own, one I am justified in asking. What has VWU done for me? No, not just me. What has VW done for ZCW lately, apart from trying to make a mockery out of it because of Zahia Morgan's past mistakes? You always try to find a way, whether it's Eddie Mack, D-Wall, or Hit Kid Worldwide jumping on the bandwagon like he always does, attempting to make jokes at the expense of not just Zahia Morgan, but the roster on his show. That goes for both of his shows, considering the new gag is FWA isn't Zahia's league, it's D-Wall's league. Now, despite all of these reasons I could have jumped in the snap of a finger, I haven't. I have not jumped yet. But the offer, as I said, is still in my mind. But I have my reasons for wanting to jump shift. One is to shove it in D-Wall and Eddie's faces. And two is to get my hands on the reason that whole Khan joke exists. The ever annoying, ever obnoxious V-Park. I don't care what you call yourself, whether it be Vincent Cipriani or V-Park. You are still an underling compared to me. You are still a joke compared to me. You are still and always will be beneath Luka Khan, V-Park. You will always be a joke. Now, VWU, give me a counteroffer if you want me to stay. GWM is promising a haul that only a fool would turn down. You know what? Forget the office. If you want me to stay, I have one condition. Give me Zack Stone in a one-on-one match on DCA. No, not a VWU show, a DCA show. So I can embarrass him on his home field. And then once I victimize and shut down the best in the world, give me a shot. A one-on-one shot at the VWU World title. I will await your answer, D-Wall.